Let's start with the big story that we are tracking this morning, where Delhi has been battling severe pollution over the course of the last several weeks. The governments and courts and also the green tribunals and environmentalists are trying to find solutions to this problem. Now, diesel cars are said to be one of the key concerns for the smog in the national capital. The farmers in Punjab and Haryana are also being blamed for burning crop stubble. Now, smog continues to trigger public health emergency every now and then, and we are wondering as to what it is that you can do to make Delhi more livable. Of course, there are ways that the people in the national capital can help. But what if industries are also polluting the air that we breathe? Now, that's right, the economic development and private profiteering at the expense of people's health. Today we will tell you as to how greed for cheap energy is making life difficult for the people in the national capital. Petcoke, the name might not be very familiar, but let's first understand as to what petcoke actually is. Now, petcoke is a dirty fuel waste product. The US oil refineries export petcoke to India. India imported a whopping 8 million metric tons of petcoke in the year 2016 alone. Now, India's petcoke import in 2016 was 20 times more than what it was in 2010. Now, India's 2016 import of petcoke was enough to fill the Empire State Building 8 times over. So why does India import such a dirty fuel? Because the United States refineries don't want to process it, and India needs cheap energy. But petcoke kills, and this is a fact that's well established. Now, petcoke is indeed an attractive poison. It is cheaper than coal, but then it has 17 times more sulfur. Now, petcoke burns hotter than coal, and don't be surprised, it is 1,380 times more sulfur than diesel, and that is in fact from the data from Environmental Protection Control Authority that the Indian government has set up.
When petcoke leaves refineries and eventually makes its way to third world countries and is burned as a coal substitute, it actually makes dirty coal plants dirtier.
You have, rightly so, strict guidelines of the use of petcoke in the United States because you're worried about pollution, as you must be. But that doesn't mean that India should import all the dirt and the garbage of the rest of the world. We should not become the dustbin of the rest of the world. We certainly can't afford it. We're choking to death already.
And why to blame the government? We ourselves as citizens, we don't take care of our environment, or we're not concerned about our environment.
It's not like one man can do it. I think it's combined effort. Every citizen should take an effort to clean the city.
Delhi has the really intense problem of pollution because there are too much traffic, and the government have to develop public transport or something like that, and clean public transport like the metro, for example.
So that is, of course, what the people in the national capital here in India feel. And also WION's correspondent Nagain Singh spoke with Sunita Narayan, the director of Centre for Science and Environment. Let's listen in.
We are with Ms. Sunita Narayan, who is associated with Centre for Science and Environment since 1982. And for more updates about the problem of smog in Delhi, we speak with her. So, ma'am, the recent reports, it says that smog may stay for longer in Delhi. So what do you think about it? I
don't know what report you're talking about, but it is very clear that smog episode was really bad, what happened last week. And it was really bad because of a combination of factors. There was a combined factor of the winds coming in from West Asia. It carried also the crop residue from Punjab and Haryana. And it also collided with another wind system coming from the east, which brought moisture. But regardless of that, you have to understand that the conditions in Delhi itself were very bad. So therefore, it's a combination, and there's no reason to point fingers at either West Asia or Punjab. It's everybody's problem. And what we really need to do now is to see how do we make sure that the pollution levels can come down, not during emergency only, That we can do. But what can we do post-emergency? When pollution already is very high, how can we reduce that?
Exactly, that is the point, ma'am, that it has always been the situation in Delhi that the air quality index is always in severe level most of the times. And we start taking actions, these are the reactionary measures. So what can be exactly done, or the long-term plans for Delhi which can save it from air pollution, according to you?
These are not reactionary measures. These are part of what is called a smog alert system. It's done all over the world as part of your program for air pollution control. So there are two parts to it. One is you act when things are very bad, and the other is you have long-term measures. The problem we have is that the long-term measures which our governments have to take, they are not taking. So I don't think I'm the right person to ask about that. You should ask our Honorable Chief Minister, our Honorable Ministers, what are they doing? Delhi remains in the very poor category in the best of days through winter. And therefore, our effort has to be to reduce pollution. Emergency measures have been effective, and that was good we took them, because otherwise we would have had even 20 times higher pollution. But we need to have long-term steps that are taken.